what can I say? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my inability to convey in language what I experienced. As what I want to share here in this video is so far beyond my ability to comprehend and my ability to articulate. And still I want to try to share this ayahuasca trip report with you, where the grace of God poured down and it opened up, and I met what felt like was the presence of Shiva, the presence of the Mother, the presence of Kali. And it was a truly unique and special moment for myself, a very unique and special experience for me that I will carry deep within my heart. Hey, I'm Virgo and this is Psychedelic Actualization. On this channel we talk about topics like self-realization, self-actualization, and working with psychedelics to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. If you're curious about psychedelic integration coaching, that's what I offer. Link is in the video description. I can't even begin to talk about this experience because it's so impossible to put into words. And this ayahuasca experience was an experience of what I would call grace. And grace is an interesting word. The grace of God. It's always there, but it's not in our choosing when it's gonna open up for us, when we're gonna experience it, when it's pouring down. And what's so interesting about this ayahuasca experience, where it now opened up for me and I was blessed with this experience of the divine presence, is I didn't go in with any intention into the journey. I didn't have any topics of my own because I was quite clear on everything in my life, on my path, on my work, on my purpose, on the relationships. Everything was kind of already taken care of. So I was just very empty and open. And then now it's just interesting to observe that now this experience of grace opened up. So I drank the cup, waited. I drank a little bit more after 2 hours, and then Manish, with which I was drinking, he took the harmonium and mantras in ayahuasca ceremony is like, that's something truly unique and special, which I haven't really experienced before, just in this one experience, which was absolutely amazing as well. And he started the invocation of Shiva and chanting Om Namah Shivaya. And what was also so beautiful about it is we as a group were allowed to chant along, and I was chanting the invocation of the presence of Shiva. And immediately, I felt such a strong presence, such a strong energy in my body, in my being, in the room. And I recognized that this is the presence of Shiva. So powerful, so real, so blissful, so joyful as well. This pure awareness, pure, crystal clear awareness was kind of emerging out of the chanting of the name of Shiva. Powerful. And that's the first recognition. What I'm kind of taking out of this experience is the power of mantras, right? The reality and the intelligence behind chanting these words of truth, chanting the names of the divine. Because I knew before, and I was chanting before, and I had deep openings before while chanting, and I recognized certain presences and certain aspects of the divine through chanting, and cried and laughed and whatever, right? But still not in this degree. Never have I experienced it in this degree. And that was powerful, right? To recognize that, the power of mantras, to maybe chant more and pick up some chanting again in my day-to-day life, as it's such a real intelligent practice which has kind of proven to be working over the ages, right? Powerful. We continued on with the mantra Jai Ma, Jai Ma, singing to the mother, invocation of the mother. And I felt, which was interesting then, a different kind of energy. The love, the longing to commune, to be with the mother. Totally, kind of a more holding me kind of energy. And that was also very special, to shift from the singing and chanting of the name of Shiva to the singing and chanting of Jai Ma, to the mother, Jagarambe. And that deeply touched me as well, reminded me of my ex-girlfriend who dedicated herself to the mother. Deeply appreciate her courage towards this path, and deeply understand now more this longing for Ma, this longing for the mother, this longing for the union with the mother. That's something truly admirable. So there was a bit of healing happening on that side regarding my past relationship, which was beautiful. Because if I would have felt this longing for the mother, as I did in this experience, in this ayahuasca experience while chanting to the mother, I would have probably made the same decision, right? To end a relationship and dedicate myself fully to this longing, to the union, to this path of union with the mother. Truly, truly special. And I'm sorry again for not being able to communicate and transmit the intensity and the love of that experience, the peace of that experience, the blessing of that experience. As I'm not in the state at the moment. I'm not in this state of grace at this moment. It's something I carry in my heart, but as I'm not in it, I can't convey it. And as it's beyond words, I can't convey it either way. So this video is pointless. And still I want to share. And still I want to try. Singing to Kali. Kali, Chamundaye, Kali Ma. Wow. Powerful. What was fun about that one, changing and shifting from the mother to the aspect of the mother, the presence of Kali, was I felt an immediate shift of energy. Like not just a bit from grace and bliss and joy to whatever, to a different kind. Yes, it was a different kind, but it was a totally different kind. It was a kind which was so divine, but so like what they display in the depictions of Kali, right? So fierce. It was almost like intimidating. I was like, woohoo, this is getting serious. Like this presence, this energy, this is cutting through everything until there's only truth left. Like, but with such a force. And it was incredible to be able to observe this shift in presence and energy from Shiva to Lakshmi to Kali, right? To these different aspects of the divine. Very strong, very fierce, but very loving, very, very loving. So beautiful, so beautiful. I think Kali is a deeply resonant aspect of the mother for myself, kind of the first one that I connected with. And it's such a powerful force and powerful energy. I guess the conclusion of this experience is that these forces are real. It's the first time I've really met them and felt them to this degree, with this kind of intensity, with this kind of reality. And yes, it might be because of the Aya and because of the DMT. Obviously it is, but still, it felt like there is a reality to this, to these presences, right? To these aspects of the divine which have been worshipped and chanted to for thousands of ages. And that was a blessing to spend some time with them, to be with them, to feel them, to unite with them. Absolutely, just a blessing, an experience of grace, an experience of right? Beyond words. I want to continue on and speak about my experience, how I related to this experience, as a theme was coming up for me, right? In this experience of this divine opening. What made it possible, I guess, as well, right, was the theme of giving myself fully. That was kind of the constant process that was going on internally while this experience and this opening was happening. I was continuously chanting, right? I was still aware of my voice, but I was giving myself fully to the experience. And this term of giving myself fully, that's deeply meaningful. And it's deeper than it seems, right? Giving yourself fully? What does that even mean, right? Fully. Giving yourself fully. And that's basically what I was doing. Basically, it's an act of surrender, of full surrender, of full letting go, of full giving in, of full relaxation. Full relaxation, full surrender. That's it. Into peace, into God, into the medicine, into the ayahuasca, into the mother, right? Into life, giving myself fully. And that's a powerful lesson that I kind of take out of this, right? Because magic is happening. Magic is happening when we give ourselves fully to our work, to the service we're doing, to a relationship, to a project, to the divine presence, to our spiritual path, to life, giving ourselves fully. What does that mean? What does that mean? Not 100% sure, but this mind, this egoistic mechanism that is working at times, which wants to stay in control, right? That has to be gone. Like that, I was giving myself, right? So there's no trace of myself left, so God can enter. And God can work through me, right? So no trace of myself left, and that led to this experience of infinite, pure, crystal clean peace. Peace. That's what it leads to. It leads to peace. So it was very profound, this experience of surrendering myself, right? And surrendering myself connects myself to everything. As when I give myself and there's only God left, then there's only one. There's only one. It's not me and God, it's one. That's where the peace is coming in. This infinite peace. This full surrender leads to the realization of the one, of wholeness. This taste of oneness, of connection with all. This Aini, they call it as well. Everything is connected. Ayahuasca Aini. in Lakesh. Deeply, everything is deeply interconnected. And when we tap into this experience of being one, which is it's the greatest blessing, right? It's so hard to access at times in ordinary state consciousness, with a lot of ego mechanisms running, right? But this blessing of the experience of being one is an experience of wholeness, of completeness, of peace within myself with a capital S. And then Manish was changing from the mantras to singing the Age of Aquarius, kind of peace on earth, and it was so fitting, it was glorious. And what I want to end this trip report with was, I felt like so complete, like the intensity was still there, but I gave myself fully, and then it was just like this infinite peace was coming in. And then as I was kind of done and at the peak of the surrender, then the urge to purge came, and I was like, wow, this is gonna come out, like the purge is gonna come out, and it's gonna be an intense one. So I tried to relax into it. It didn't fully wanted to come. I'm getting flashbacks right here. Didn't fully want it to come. And I was like, then I was sitting up and I was like, should I ask for some rapé? Should I don't know, I have to go to the toilet as well, and but I still have to purge, or just enjoying the divine presence and peace again. And I was enjoying to sit in this like indecisiveness, and I was just like, I'm just gonna wait and see what comes up. I don't know. And I went for the rapé first. So I went for the rapé, and what happened was Manesh came, he gave me the rapé, and I relaxed more fully into it, and I knew that it would come out, and it did come out at the most unexpected time, and I did have the purge, and it was like the physical, literal representation of giving myself fully to the experience, to life, to the mother, to Shiva, to the medicine, to the bucket, right? And it was a glorious, epic purge on this peak of the experience. It felt so good. It felt so good because there was a readiness, a 100% readiness within myself to give myself, whatever that might mean in the physical sense with the purging, right? There was an absolute readiness. And that's when the most beautiful purges are happening with ayahuasca, right? With this is deep readiness, glorious, epic. Oh my God, that was good. And then afterwards, the realization, the surrender, right? This giving in, and just the beauty of it, recognizing that this is grace, this is grace, this is great. Thank you for the peace, and then just lying in that love, lying in that peace, and lying in that joy. There was an overflowing sense of joy for the rest of the night. For the blessing and the gratitude of having had this experience of being blessed with the grace of God. Truly a special one. And I'm sorry again for not being able to convey it into words, and as it's also hard to integrate for myself now, as this opening was such a grand and big opening, it's very hard to access just the slightest bit of this grace, and that's a bit sad, but also that's okay, right? That's part of the journey, and the integration now is to sit in the morning, to connect with life, to chant to the divine names, to the aspects of the divine, and to really hold this experience in my heart, because it is truly the greatest blessing. Thank you very much for watching. If you're curious about the coaching offer, as I said, link is in the video description. Check that out. If you want to prepare for your ayahuasca experience, I wrote a completely free ebook for ayahuasca preparation. You're free to download that for free as well. Thank you very much. Many blessings. May you recognize the divine in you and this interconnectedness of all, as we are truly one. Sat Nam.